Heyo, what's up guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are gonna be talking about how to escape silver. So, I have been playing on an shit tier MMR account all the way up to plat MMR so far. Currently 100 wins and 3 losses. And I'm basically gonna be talking about how to escape silver. So what are like the common mistakes that I see in silver? What should people do differently in silver in order to win games? And yeah, basically like teach you guys how to escape silver so you can get to gold easily. So the first thing that I realize as soon as I'm playing in silver MMR, when I'm basically taking a look at both my teammates but also the opponents, is the fact that they are playing a lot of different champions, and especially if they're losing, like let's say 2 or 3 games, they kind of give up on whatever they decided to stick to at first, and then they're going to try something out, or yeah, basically try something different. So the first thing that I think that people should do in silver in order to escape silver is just stick to the one thing, or the few things that you learned and that you felt like you were good at and that you were gonna climb with, and don't give up just because you have some rough games where you might lose like 3 games in a row or something. Don't give up on your strategy, your champion, your playstyle, your build, whatever. Maybe just having an unlucky day, maybe just not feeling as well. Don't move away from whatever strategy you decided to go for. So, as I suggested in the past few videos on how to escape iron and how to escape bronze, I basically told people like stick to a very few amount of champions for 2 roles and just stick to those champions and learn the game throughout those champions. What I see in silver is the fact that people tend to kind of give up as soon as things start to not go the way that they want it. So this means that if they're starting to lose or they don't perform as well, they'll either like swap roles, they will play a different champion, try something different out, and this will basically result in you having a bigger chance of losing than you actually going to win the next game by trying something differently. So first thing first, stick to whatever strategy you decided to go for at first, and just believe. If you're having a rough day and you lose a few games, maybe take a break and then come back with a refreshed mindset and go win the next few games. Besides that, in silver, people tend to actually understand the runes. So the rune part, people actually start to learn. But the thing is that in silver, I think what people do in silver, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think what they do is they go to a champion website and then they either like, sometimes they just even, I think, go to a YouTube video, see a YouTube video about like new broken build, whatever. I can basically show you guys something here. I saw Tarzan made a new video. Here, new Challenger Korean Graves build, and then people like go into this video and then they click on it and then they basically copy whatever Tarzan does in this video. No hate to Tarzan, I actually like Tarzan, I'm friends with him. I was saying that these type of videos are informative, but they are not like you just watch them and then you learn a champion just by watching a 20-minute video. You learn a champion basically by playing the champion, depending on how difficult it is, but at least like 10 to 20 games and all the way up to even a couple of hundred of games. Just watching a YouTube video is simply not enough for you to learn the champion. So you never want to like first time a champion or try something differently out in ranked. So stick to normals at first. You can watch these videos and be trying to like learn these champions if you find them fun or whatever and you feel like you're good enough for them. But please do normal games. If you feel like normal games are too troll, go into ranked flex, go onto a Smurf account, something like that. Don't play on the main account in soloQ first timing, something that you actually know almost nothing about because you don't really get that much information from just watching. You kind of want to have your own experience with these type of builds. So yeah, again, this is what I mean by people tend to go try a different strategy compared to just sticking to their own one. Of course you can experiment, but don't do it in ranked at first. Basically do normal ranked flex or on a Smurf at first, and then you can go onto your main account and see how it feels over there. So as I said, the rune part, people actually tend to play with the correct runes, so props for that. But the things that I see that are not always correct, is basically the build part. So I tend to see most people do the correct runes, but they I don't know if they're following some kind of guide or whatever that is just bad, and they just haven't done proper research for the build, or if they're like trying to like do their own thoughts for the build. But I basically see people do wrong builds for the champions more than I see them doing correct builds. So there are two different approaches for whenever it comes to builds in Silver, in my opinion, and it is looking up something, doing a research, and then do whatever the majority of players does. So it would be like, go to this website and then see, does these items compare to another website? And if it does, hey, you play with that build. The second part is if you are a bit more experienced, you've played the game for a little bit longer, you want to build counter items. So this means that you will not always go for the same build. It will only be the first few items that are the same build. In my situation, it will be jungle item and Duskblade for Kha'Zix. And then basically from after Duskblade, so this means the boots and the 4th, 5th, and 6th item is basically situational and depending on the enemy team. This is how most high elo players does, but this only works for experienced players who actually know like the game, who knows the items, what they does in different situations, stuff like that, and basically know their champion in and out almost. So this will basically mean that you would have 1 to 3 items as your core items. This means that you'll always build this no matter what, and then your 4th, 5th, and 6th item would be situational, which this website actually right here will help you with. Only downside to this is the fact that you don't get any explanation, so you basically have to understand the game well enough yourself in order to mix up and do these counter item builds in order for it to work, but otherwise you just stick to the same build and then you play with that build in order to escape Silver. So yeah, that's that. Another thing, people just don't read the word enough. Again, like people just don't really put as many contours and trinkets down as they should. And then people in Silver don't really focus enough on laning phase either. So again, just focus on your laning phase, focus on the early game. And you can basically win the game just from being good enough at early game. You don't even have to know like late game and sometimes even mid game in order to escape Silver if you're just that good at your early game. So just focus on the early game and you'll basically be fine. So let's take a look at a Silver MMR game and let's see if we can find any issues here. So I will just go ahead here and take a look at this game. Look up every single player. So as you guys can see already on this first one, this player is playing jungle, mid lane, and I think I also see this guy play top lane sometimes. Nah, it's just a jungle mid lane. This is actually fine. Roles wise, it's fine. The only issue is the fact that this guy has played, it's also 31 champions, which basically results in him being 51% win rate instead of he just decided to stick to a few champions. He would have already been out of gold, or at least like high gold, maybe low plat. This guy hasn't really played that many champions, but in Season 9 he decided to play many champions. So again, the common thing that I see here is just the fact that people just play here, again, too many different roles. This guy plays ADC, support, and mid lane. And then he just also plays like too many champions. Like if you take a look at Season 9, again, he played a total of 66 different champions. And yeah, this just keeps on like popping up. Like people will always have a lot of champions. This is not too bad, but still a bit too many. And I'm not saying that you can't play these amount of champions. It's just the fact that you really need to understand that this is not the proper way and the best way in order to climb. So again, just mind your champion pool. Again, just stick to the champions that you decided to go for. And just believe in the fact that your build and your playstyle will get you out of Silver. If you're really struggling and we're talking about like a 1 week or 2 weeks time where you just don't climb and you consistently perform poorly, then yes, it's time to change up your strategy and figure something new out that will work again for you. And trust me, there is nothing like, there is only one champion and one champion only I can learn. You can always learn a new champion. It's just the fact that some champions takes more time and are harder to learn compared to other champions. So you can essentially learn every single champion in the game if you want to, but that's just not efficient. So you just want to learn a couple of champions, and then if you for whatever reason start having like a down phase where you just like lose everything for more than like a week's time, maybe even 2 weeks time, try out some different champions. Again, go into normal game, go into a ranked flex game, see how they feel. If you feel like they work better than the previous champions you had, go ahead and play those ones instead and bring those into ranked, and then escape silver that way. Just keep on believing in your strategy and don't be like these typical silver players who will just like play everything. Like they will play every single role. They feel like they have a champion for every single role, and you just don't need that anymore. You simply want to stick to 2 roles, sometimes even 3 if support is not included in your top 2 roles, and then have a couple of champions for each role, and that's the easiest, most efficient way of climbing out of silver. So again, just believe in your strategy, believe in the champions that you've chosen. If for whatever reason it fails, maybe get some coaching, maybe look at some players who are better than you playing your champion, maybe try a different style within your champion. Otherwise, just swap out your champions, find some new ones, try them out in normal and ranked flex, see how they feel. If you feel like that you're performing good again, then go into ranked solo duo with those champions, and then start grinding with this new strategy that you came up with. So yeah, those like the common things that I see in silver that I tend to see silver players do in terms of mistakes. So yeah, please just follow these guidelines, follow these suggestions that I just did, and you should be out of silver in no time. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like. Next video is going to be how to escape gold. So if you are gold or you would like to see what it requires to get out of gold, stay tuned, remember to subscribe, and the video will be up very soon. So see you guys in my next YouTube video or on my next live stream over at twitch.tv/kami_Kha'Zix. See you guys.